Good, whatever to you. And I still have Mr. Blue Sky playing for some reason. There it goes.
Okay, I think only you could have heard it. I don't know why. It was weird.
Oh, there it is. I had this screen open. All right. If you all heard a little bit of an echo there, that was an amateur host here. 1 year at doing this. I'm not like Opie Hughes, who has 18 years, or Aaron Imholt, who does he also have 18 years of doing this?
Leave it alone, man. Just leave it alone.
Leave it alone. And actually, if we get to that
I
clip
don't
today,
care.
Aaron does have a certain way of talking to Nick Rekieta, where over the internet, where he's like, "Leave it alone, leave it alone."
Yeah, he's he's an amalgamation of a lot of these guys now. It's so funny to me. Just little tidbits and habits that he's been picking up and mimicking.
I have started saying that Aaron Imholt is not the lol cow that we wanted, but he is the lol cow that we needed.
Oh yeah, oh dude, the unearned arrogance and the matter of fact attitude, like he knows better. And then like recently, he was lying for the last 6 months that he wasn't doing things he was doing, and then it turns out he was doing all those things.
Yeah, he's now admitting it at a point where he really shouldn't be admitting it at all. I have been in this Dabbleverse following Carl Hamburger and Stuttering John since 2019. And to me, it's kind of played out at this point. Aaron Imholt is injecting life into this pointing and laughing. Because at this point, Stuttering John, his brain is legitimately deteriorating. It does seem like we are punching and pushing the retarded kid. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that, am I, YouTube? The slow
Yeah.
kid. So Aaron Imholt does seem like someone of a kid of our age. Pick on someone your own size. He seems less pathetic, and he is very fun to goof on.
Oh yes, and it depends on the day too. Some things irk him more days than others, depending on what's going on in his personal life. It's so strange, and I'm not also like because he admitted pretty much since November that this kind of thing has been going on, which sort of fits the timeline in my head. I was guessing September when school started that Ashley was getting up his ass about money and taking care of the kids, and it turns out it was a whole lot more than that, like a
You
whole lot more.
all the Spurgs were absolutely correct. All the Spurgs in Spurgtopia knew what they were talking about when they said April is doing drugs. I was like, I don't know, but yeah, where there is smoke, there is fire. I guess I wanted to give the benefit of the doubt, and sometimes you shouldn't do that.
Well, I agree with you though. I'm as somebody who was very accusatory of these two. I probably should give more benefit of the doubt, but blah 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 blah. I know I've seen this behavior. He's doing what I was doing at 22, 23 years old, at 37 with three kids and a second wife. It boggles my
37.
mind.
He is the exact age I am. We are both Bret Hart fans, and I have to have a narcissistic streak in me to attempt to be an actor for as many years as I did. And here, once again, putting myself out to the internet. Anyone who does this has to have some sort of delusion or narcissism in this to be like, look at me, aren't I entertaining enough to get monetized? Which I'm creeping my way up to. The watch
Road to
hours are.
500, dude.
I was trying to think of a play on words, but I can't think of a for the road to. We are getting there to the road to 500. Thank all you folks for tuning in and subscribing. And since you started with the leave it alone, we might as well start with that clip of Aaron fighting very much like Opie does of leave it alone. Nick Rekieta, leave it alone, leave it alone. This one is from So Thorough Joe Burrow, where he has Aaron the epic grape fight. Well, not epic. It was more a frustrating grape fight of Opie and Anthony because Opie just wouldn't get into it, and this reminded me so much of that grape fight
Oh
and the
my
leave it
god.
alone.
Honestly,
Leave
I
it
would
alone,
leave it the
Ant.
fuck alone if I
Leave
were
it
him.
alone.
But hey, if you look,
He actually started out with it, didn't he? Leave it alone.
Honestly, I would leave it the fuck alone if I were him. But hey, if you
Oh, it's the Opster. It's the Imster.
look, if people are gonna fuck up and make mistakes, let them fuck up and make mistakes. Because oh boy, I don't think you want me telling the fix her story. I don't think.
And that little glance, you know what I mean. Leave it alone.
Yep.
And I think Nick Rekieta is more along the lines of Anthony of, oh, come on, let's have it out. Well, hopefully Nikki McGill is a little smarter and knows that he should shut up. He hasn't done a stream since being arrested. And I did see one of the Spurgs over on Spurgtopia drop a Rekieta response. I forget where it was, of saying it's both surprising and unsurprising that people believe what the government tells him. So it does sound like he's going full Jimmy McGill on this, of concocting a story and having a cake sitting incident that he is going to fabricate in order to get out of this. Nope, absolutely not the cocaine.
Unreal. And yeah, there was a couple of things. There's a couple of written messages from Nick from his locals page about believing the government narrative and how he's going to take a step back from streaming. But there's also one of his former cohorts, Legal Mindset is the channel name, and it's Andy Esquire. He's an all right dude, in my opinion. But when he said in his stream the other day that when Nick and Aaron and everybody were doing these streams, he bailed on them. There was a lot of people who were like, "Oh yeah, this is happening" on their end. You know, a lot of people in the Dabbleverse are very new to Nick Rekieta.
I am. It was just 1 week ago that I really got familiarized with him, thanks to Comedy Shaman, and unfortunately, me only being familiar with Baby's first streaming software of StreamYard, I boomered it up and could not stay for that entire episode, which, unfortunately, as a sexual degenerate, I would have had positive things to say of the Baldo, whereas Comedy Shaman was just very taken aback with the dildo for your balls that Nick Rekieta was handling of another man's.
Unreal. And we can get into Baldo logistics later if you like, because I do have some opinions on that.
I actually don't have any clips of him handling the Baldo, but last week's Comedy Shaman episode, he had the clip of Nick Rekieta handling another man's Baldo. He said it's not been used. I don't know how it belongs to another man and it hasn't been used.
Yeah, I don't understand
that
it.
one. I don't know if you want me to tell the soulmate story.
He is getting a little more specific than Opie of the Leave It Alone. Leave it alone. A little hint of what I can say.
You want me to tell the story that just happened upstairs? You want me to tell the what's that? Okay.
Talk about the other story, Aaron.
Huh.
We want him to.
You want me to tell the crying on the floor story?
Just very much. He's been doing this for a while, of just kind of talking kind of about it, not about it, before finally he's like, oh, all right, I'll just talk full on. And the press tour that he's been doing over with, he did Kino Casino. Ethan Ralph. Isn't Ethan Ralph like that sounds like a very bad platform to go on to. Isn't that the pillhead motherfucker?
Ethan Ralph is a known troublemaker. He's borderline low cow himself. Kino Casino, I know Worski. He's got history with the internet. And I think that he said the thing. He was like, "Stay back," because there was another gun incident with Worski. I'm not too familiar with the other guy, Ashton PPP. I just was referring to him as the Blob, like from X-Men, but he was asking extremely good questions to Aaron. He was getting him to say a ton. And all I can think was, shut the fuck up, dude. Pardon my language, but Aaron ain't off the hook. He ain't off the hook. He thinks he is. But technically, he can get charged with permitting drug abuse, and he's adjacent to the child endangerment. That's not a good look for Aaron. He shouldn't be. As much as he says he's an asshole, I don't think he realizes how deep it is.
He gave the kids SpaghettiOs, and I don't know if I have that clip here. He says it like that takes him out of the child endangerment. You were partying in the hot tub next to those kids that had dirty clothes, no clothes at all, and for months before you were like, oh, they haven't been fed.
Yeah, dude, and that hot tub stream was the damningest evidence for me. I could see it. I lost the picture, but I had both Nick and Aaron was mimicking him the whole night in the hot tub. He was following Nick's lead.
I've got a minute and a half of the hot tub right here that we'll get into.
Next time, lose the two dudes.
Look at these guys. Look at a lady. There was a point where they set up the camera and their face was really up in it, and you can see their eyes. It's
I'm very much paper bag. Do you believe this?
What I really took away from this is the body language of these swingers. We have the Ricadas very cuddly up together, and April, she's like got a border wall with her beer of do not cross this. I'm having fun with my new friends here, and Aaron all onto an island unto himself. And I do have this down low so we can talk over it.
Okay.
I'm not a dick at all.
You want to slap her?
Are you?
You're shitting on my rap career.
No, she was saying that she.
Oh, Aaron has a rap career? He does not like that culture at all, and yet he has a rap career? Cool, the candy rapper like Sal Governale? I would like to hear that. Just like his stand-up comedy. I have not found a raw version of his stand-up comedy. I would like to cover that. I've seen the NLO covering it, but I would like the raw footage of that. It exists somewhere. Maybe one of these small clippers, like that fellow last week that was making music videos that had all of 17 subscribers. It's going to come to me eventually.
Gummy Chainsaw? He posts a lot in the Discords. That guy's amazing.
I'm going to have to look him up. Gummy Chainsaw is not on the queue today, and he hasn't come on to my For You page. That's TikTok. On my YouTube page. My recommendations.
then I'm wrong. My eyes just push so hard. You're always wrong. Ready?
You're adequately attractive.
Aaron's sensual eyes there. Hey, audience at home. We're having a good time here.
I like that. I like that cut. Yeah, that's a good still right there.
Yeah, let me get rid of that chat and give a little Command Shift 3. Aren't I a naughty boy? Look at us being naughty 37-year-olds.
See, and that picture does say, it reiterates what you were just saying. He's way over to the left, and everybody else is way over to the right.
It's like they needed to bring him in order to get April. Like Nick Ricada needed to swing in order with Aaron to get April. That's what he wanted. And poor Kayla, she took a bullet for the team, maybe a literal bullet sized, judging how April has been completely unsatisfied.
I'm glad that
You're adequately attractive.
We have to be respectful.
Adequately attractive. You know what? That's good.
Who I'm making out with.
He's sexy, yeah.
She's like going from a
She's obviously sleeping with Lady Rackets tonight. I just got kicked out.
Well,
Wait,
right.
you were sleeping with?
I need a dose of what I don't have. She's unique.
Jizz Mopper Aaron. I hope that they paid him well. Some Jizz Moppers get paid very well.
She's prettier than he is.
That's true.
Hey, don't you listen to her, sweet cheeks.
You.
No.
Later.
Sweet Cheeks.
Okay.
Jesus.
Listen to me, sweet cheeks.
Once again, just very archaic. Sweet Cheeks sounds more insulting than it does a term of endearment. Sugar Tits to me, maybe I'm off
I
on
was just
this.
going to...
Sugar
Sweet
Tits
tits.
sounds... Yeah, Sweet Tits, Sugar Tits, that sounds more acceptable than Sweet Cheeks. Sweet Cheeks sounds even before the 90s. That seems like 70s, 1950s stuff. Hey there, Sweet Cheeks.
Yeah, body restaurant stuff.
You're gonna hold her to a chat. It's a contract.
Knock it out.
What? We're not having sex right now? What am I doing?
Okay, that's a big toe in the
Okay,
asshole.
wait,
We've already
wait,
covered.
wait,
That's
wait,
just
wait.
experiment.
Nick thought there was
Hold
just
on.
Drexel who did the toe in the asshole.
He's
No,
not
no,
here.
no. Okay.
Why are you so?
We were
Ah.
sitting up in the bed watching.
Da da da.
Him getting
you
his
can-
face all up in there. It's quite
That-
funny.
That's what gave away his eyes. His pupils are fixed. They're not necessarily like way dilated or under dilated, but they're at a fixed dot ratio. Like they're both. And I'm suspecting it was a combination of things.
So,
Including
here
booze.
you were talking about Kino Casino getting Aaron
Why
to
are
admit
you
some
so
stuff.
We were
I did
sitting
put
up
that
in the bed
next up
watching a movie, and Kayla
here, so we
Kayla was
have
there.
Kino
And-
Casino here with Aaron Imholt. I didn't grab any Ethan Ralph. From what I've seen of the guy, I can't stomach him.
I agree. Leave it
She
alone.
went to grab her sleeping pills.
Just leave it alone. Do you want me to tell the getting beat up in Mexico story or the beat up in Belgium
In
story?
Spain, yeah. Oh, Belgium.
Hey, I forgot exactly where it was, but every
I'm
time
just guessing too.
that Ethan Ralph takes an international vacation, he gets the shit beat out of him. Okay, I am thinking of the right person. Good.
Yep.
And she set them down on my leg. This was a couple nights before Nick confronted me about this. Well, I guess Nick got a hold of Kayla's phone and started reading her messages. And there were really affectionate, heavy messages from Kayla and I. And he didn't like that. And he starts texting me. And he starts going, "Where did Kayla put those pills the other night?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Did she put them on your dick?" I'm like, "What?" When she set them down on the bed, did she set them where your dick? I'm like, "No, I think she set them on my knee. I'm not sure." Like, I didn't know because I don't remember that.
Jealousy and swinging. And that's the thing I've said about polyamory is it took me a year to wrap my head around the concept seriously. And it's the whole jealousy thing that you have to get over. And
Yep.
even if Nick Rekieta did get over it, he knows that, fuck, I wanted April, but I got to take Aaron.
It's the
Maybe he
package deal.
Maybe he did enjoy Aaron for a short period of time, but that seemed to sour quite quickly, those two. Whereas, come on in, house guest April, stay in our room and get your credit cards out. That's so
Yeah.
odd. Her purse was not in the bedroom, but 2 credit cards were. There was no report of drug residue being on them, but hard to believe there wasn't.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't see that in the report either. We can get into that too, if you like.
I am a fool, Jay Bra. I will not deny that. I'm a foolish fellow, just like the lady I will be going out on a date with probably later today. She is an alternative-looking lady, and she sent me a picture last night. Do you like the new ink? It's a fucking face tattoo.
Oh no.
It's a fucking
That's something I draw the line at. I don't have any tattoos on my face.
when I saw it, I was like, man, you had me going with the illustrations on your titty, the forked tongue I've been curious about for a long time. The fucking face tattoo, oh, god damn it, really? So I'm committed to a date, but goddamn, fucking face tattoo, fuck.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what you do. And I do commend you for being very mature about your sexuality and relationships. That's pretty neat. I think that Aaron is also extremely jealous and really tried to put some focus on getting Kayla away from Nick.
A lot of people get into swinging and polyamory as a knee-jerk reaction to save the marriage, to save the relationship, and that's not how you save the relationship. It needs to be a healthy relationship to begin with, and when you have a crumbling relationship that you decide to open up, like it's just going to take a sledgehammer to that crumbling relationship.
Yeah, it's like having another kid to keep the marriage going or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just don't ruin another life if you don't have to. Will you go lay
for that
down,
shit because
please?
that's psychotic.
Pills loose? Was it the pills
No,
loose?
no. She has them like in
In the case. Okay. In the case.
like
All right.
people who have to take medication do. And by the way, before anyone even asks, I only saw her, other than like cocaine and stuff, I only saw her take medication that was prescribed to her. I will say that.
Okay.
But he would start questioning.
I did get pain medication from the hospital years ago, and I definitely took it when I needed it, less than I should. So I had a little left over for fun time. I don't know if April did that as well, of kind of spacing it out when she actually really did need it, so that there was some left over for fun time. Because
That's the idea.
Down quite the road.
I'm glad to hear you say that too, because I have teeth pulled, and they gave me like 30 Vicodin, and I was like, okay, am I going to need all fucking 30? And I did. I had a few left over. Take a couple and have a beer, and you're fine.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot left over, and I had a relative that really got into the oxys. So what was it? Codone, I believe I got. I was like,
okay,
once these are gone, these are gone. And I actually had my policy with cocaine, which is a big part of this story. Stupid, non-mirrored. Is cocaine. When I first tried it, I was like, oh my God, this is great. We are never, ever, ever going to seek this out. If it finds its way to us, we make a game day
That's
decision.
one thing. Right. And I've been that way since I'm in my older years. That's how I am. If it's around, sure. Am I going to go around asking every Tom, Dick, and Harry if they got what I'm looking for? I'd rather not do that anymore. I'm not 20.
That was the rule, and that's the rule that I stuck by. Hasn't found its way towards me since 2019, and I am absolutely not going to seek it out. A dozen-ish times I've done it, and yeah, when it came by me, sometimes the game day decision actually was no. So good on me for that restraint.
And that's another, yeah, saying no is a big part of it. Self-discipline.
Getting some strange is just always hot, Baldo. Like that. If your wife, if your girlfriend is just the hottest one in the swinging, still just getting some strange, getting some new tang is just incredible, even if it is a downgrade for what you believe the looks are. Strange fucking rocks.
And one of my bucket list items is to meet a girl and not know her name until after we have sex. Like legit strange.
Have I done that? Fuck, I may have to. In one of my notebooks here, I actually did start taking a sexual inventory. Once I started losing track of the number, it's somewhere around 20-something, 30-something. But I used to be able to remember them, every single one in their name. And at some point, I started losing. I'm like, okay, let me start. This is something I'm kind of fascinated to keep track of. So I need to find that notebook. I haven't updated it with the last like 3 or something. But yeah, I am nerd enough that I actually fucking wrote it down when I couldn't just start going over it in my mind. There was Leia, there was Brittany. Did I have a Brittany? Yeah, I had a Brittany. Lisa. Oh, I should have stayed with Lisa a little bit longer. She was not exactly the looker I was looking for, but she was a widow and she needed some dick, and she liked the dicking down I did. I should have stuck with that. That's a few of them where I'm like, they weren't exactly what I was looking for physically, but man, could we get the banging going. Unfortunately, the last one that I spoke of, that we really got along great, I never banged her. Just absolutely not attracted to her at all. But
you like talking to her. It's so weird. That's not the talking to her part, but like, yeah, it's.
And I
the
did
body,
ruin
the body and mind wants what they want. Yeah.
I did ruin the hanging out and talking with her by crushing her. She wanted the D, and the D was like, man, we've been through this before. Don't be fucking girls that make you think you've got erectile dysfunction, man. Don't do that.
Me, and if I didn't know the answer to these things that happened a couple days ago, he'd start fucking freaking out on me like, you're a goddamn liar. Why don't you just stop fucking lying? And I'm just like, dude, I just don't know where your wife put her pill. I don't pay attention to this shit. Did you fuck her 2 days ago when you were watching that movie? Did you have sex that? I'm like, Sunday, Monday, I think maybe but then I would realize I was
You
thinking to
fucked her.
myself,
You
I go,
fucked her, right?
What?
He just admitted it, and Kino there is trying to get 100% confirmation. We basically just got it. Aaron fucked Kayla Ricada, and Kino, I don't think he'll get it here, but he's trying to get Aaron to say those exact words for 100% confirmation.
Why do you think he was so threatened by you fucking his wife? Like, shouldn't he have been chill with it?
Those two are extremely codependent. And even though they're into, I think they were kind of bored with each other. And that's where April and I came along. And
Was it accepted to have sex with her and vice versa? Like, was this like already okay,
Yeah.
guys, I get to fuck her, you get to fuck her.
Let me take responsibility for something else.
Sure.
Well, April and I were on vacation in Las Vegas to watch.
Fucking Aaron, going around the block to go next door. We
Always.
just want you to talk about the swinging. This where it began going on vacation is not what Kino asked at all. And before I get too far away, special hi to Salvatore. I was talking with Spurg Snake about the turn and where it came from. Both of us recall Regal Salvatore in the Spurgtopia Discord being the one to really coin the turn. Maybe it was someone else, but both of us are giving Salvatore the credit for the turn really becoming a thing. It was Atlantic City and turning on NLO, where I remember Salvatore really start hammering home the turn. Great job. One of my favorite posters over on Spurgtopia.
Yeah, dude, always got something funny to say too. He's dare I say, a good acquaintance, maybe even a friend. And yes, he was the first, man. He put the whole definition on there. If you look him up in the Spurgtopia Discord, he lays it out verbatim. Sal got it going, and Doom just fucking took the ball and ran with it. So it really got around. You know, I was so a little meme, and it got it's kind of more far-reaching than you think.
Watch the Vikings games and hang out with some friends.
Okay.
I did bring it up to her that I thought Kayla was very attractive. And my part of the degeneracy, my part of the weakness was it might be interesting to try this because we knew their reputation. Can you
walk me through like the decision process to opening your marriage?
The Wednesday night before we left for Las Vegas.
It took us a day to decide. Nope. You need months of deciding. We took a day, said this marriage isn't really working. Let's fuck other people. That is disaster. This is a months, maybe years long conversation of like there are different rules for every couple that you really need to get into place, and some you won't even hit until you're in the action. But just we took a day to decide we're opening up our marriage.
No, she wanted other people. He's too boring for April. I know it. I think I mentioned before that April wants to be turned out, and it turns out she did. She likes to party. Coke was there. Ketamine tablets were there. And they keep saying Molly. This is something I want to touch on here in a minute because they keep saying MDMA Molly, especially Aaron. But nowhere on the arrest report and the search warrant did anybody pick up any Molly. They picked up a bag that had a brown substance in it, but it didn't come back. They could test for that, and it didn't come back tested for anything that they knew. So
And
I'm expecting that
brown substance from Mr. Brownstone. That's usually speedball territory. That's what killed John Belushi and Chris Farley.
Yeah, and that's what I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Nick was doing that.
I don't think that Aaron is in Salvatore on the way he comes off. He certainly has the narcissistic personality disorder that makes him delusional and changes the world around him. I think he has a sort of grasp on how he's coming off, but he doesn't get it fully at all.
I know he knows he's cringe on some level, but he doesn't see it the way we do. A fish doesn't know it's swimming kind of thing, I think. He's just so in it and surrounded by it that that's what he does now.
And the Ricadas absolutely, I believe, have been doing this swinging for quite a while. They come off like they're not new to this game, like they have the rules set down. I think they actually did before they really went down the rabbit hole of degeneracy and allegedly drugs. Don't sue me, Mr. Lawyer, Mr. Nicky McGill. Allegedly, that's what the arrest records say. They were. I think they actually did have a good swinging plan in place. It worked out for them for a while before they got too much into the shit.
Oh yeah, Nick has been having some good fun the last few years. He has enjoyed some financial success, not just with YouTube, but his locals. He has a lot of ardent supporters, and this isn't the first time he's gotten into controversy with another YouTuber either.
Yes. We went out to dinner with the Ricadas. Now, we met them in October at the comedy show.
Okay.
That unfortunately, Chrissy Mayer's father was murdered, and she had to pull out of the show.
Oh yeah. I heard about
Yeah, it was really
brutal,
sad.
brutal. Yeah.
He's asking you about swinging.
Chrissy, a good friend of mine. Great.
Oh, she's
person.
great. Yeah, I love her.
She's wonderful.
So that was the one. Sorry to. It was the one where Nick performed that as well. You brought him in for that show. Yeah. Okay. I remember that. Okay. And he told anyone if we covered that show, he would flag it and shit. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead. So it was October.
I don't give a fuck. I think people who troll me recorded it and played it on their shows. Who fucking cares?
Yeah. I know. But okay, cool. Timeline, perfect.
So we hung out. We drank afterwards. It was fun. It was a good time. April and Kayla got along great. Nick was on Molly. He and I got along as well as we could.
Mm-hmm.
Molly, I guess we should put in quotation marks. And that actually is Brent Hatley, when he would talk about swinging on the Bubba the Love Sponge show back in the serious days, said, just let the ladies work the deal out. As long as the ladies can get along, the husbands are basically slinging dicks. Because the swinging world is slightly different than the polyamory world, which I'm in. They run parallel and they cross, but just a little bit different than the world of fucking multiple people and being honest about it that I'm in.
A nice subset of rules for these guys.
Cool enough. Then we hung out the next day before they left town. We watched a movie in the morning. And then April would go to their land to hunt. April is a deer hunter. I would go sometimes. November's a little cold for me. I'm kind of a faggot like that. And
language. Half a bundle of sticks.
Not even that, dude.
Stop
But
hunting
November in Minnesota ain't that fucking bad. This dude needs to grow a pair. He drives me crazy with little. These are the things that I dislike Aaron for. Oh, it's a little cold in November for hunting. You fucking pussy. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
And as one of our beloved chatters that I brought up earlier pointed out, April's deer hunting hasn't gone well. It's probably more hog hunting that she's been doing. And she found her a nice hog.
Around then, she would go to their land to hunt. I've thought about this as time goes on, as I've been away from it. I don't know if they introduced her to anything in that time period or not. I have no idea, but I have my suspicions now. But we went out to eat early December, probably like December 4th, I would think. And we went back to our place. And we all sat and watched a movie. I think it was Inglourious Bastards, actually.
Right.
So random. It's just so,
Django Unchained.
you're all
No,
Molly.
it wasn't Django.
It was a Tarantino. film.
You're all high on Molly. Like, let's watch some Tarantino.
No.
And that's where
I saw that.
And let's focus on the Tarantino film. Yes, that's what we wanted you to focus on. And J-Bra is a sexual degenerate like myself. His worst swinging experience was with 5 couples, and it turned out that they were all girl play only swingers. So they got to watch like a porno in front of them and just hang out and shoot the shit. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, not a good situation.
So let's go to the good times. We saw a little bit of the hot tub stream, and here is Nick Rekieta dropping in on.
Rumor has it.
I don't think I gave credit for that. Kino Casino was Stallion 19, and Nat Clo 19 is this one, and the hot tub clip.
These two might love each other. There's other rumors that there's a divorce clock out there. Which, you know what? I want to address the divorce clock for a second.
Whoa.
I'm upset about.
There's rumors that there's the divorce clock. He's seen the divorce clock and the under one. I was saying for quite a while that it was set very well. I did not know whether to take the under or the over. The under wins. April's not coming back.
Yeah, it's over.
Aaron
I took the under. I win.
Burning. He is scorching the earth at this point. Just absolutely no way. You're gone. You're not coming back. Fine. Fuck you. Sorry, that fine was a little hot. I apologize.
About the divorce clock for one very good reason.
Look at this chat.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I love you. That's why I poured booze down
love me?
your throat.
Well, then, you know what I would like?
I poured tequila in your mouth through a funnel. I shook your head around, and then I rubbed my butthole on your face. If that's not love, I don't know what Mexico is anymore.
I only remember two.
And look how happy April is. She finds him so funny. A previous episode of the St. Cloud Divorce Show, we dropped a clip where Aaron was reminiscing of the times where April used to enjoy his humor. And this is just a few months ago. So she's already past the point of enjoying his humor. And that is just legitimate joy and glee of Nick. You're so funny. You're such a fun guy.
Yep, and she was eyeballing him up and down, off camera. Like she's on camera, looking over, going like, "Yeah," like we all saw it. We know the look. As a dude, you know that look. If you're getting that look from a girl, you're getting some. If you recognize it, you got to catch it.
And Nat Clo 2.0 does have the date on here, December 19th. The clip we just saw, they were swinging by the beginning of December. So she's had that Nick dick.
Oh, yes. And that was already the speculation. A lot of people were ripping on everybody who's speculating. It's educated guessing. Aaron's 37 and really has lived a half a lifetime. I'm 43 and I feel like I got a couple of lives through me already. You know what I mean? Like
oh yeah, when I find people who have lived much more droll lives than me, I'm like, okay, I'm doing it right. Maybe I don't have this, that, or the other thing that I was hoping for. My plans were derailed to do something in the entertainment industry, so picking up the pieces and doing something with online streaming, but my experience is, fuck yeah, I think I got you beat, Mr. Toe.
You do. I think I do too.
Speaking of which, we have a message for Aaron from someone we just met.
Just take the loss, Mr. Toe Man.
Fucking love that drop. When I pulled that clip yesterday, I didn't even realize that was there until I was on air, and this is gonna stay on the board.
Just take the loss, Mr. Toe Man.
And that was fun. That was a follow-up to a clip that we had previously seen of a tow truck chasing after a woman in a car. It looked like a video game that was happening. And he gave us the proper lawyer reaction and dropped. Thank you so much for that drop.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Oh, man.
Because that's what's happening to him now. He's taking the loss.
And that's the problem, ultimately.
Can we oil that?
Now you know what?
Oil it?
I think.
Stop.
I think really this has been.
And I think from here on the audio is kind of messed up. There might be one more thing at a minute in, but I did take a note after a minute to drop out of this clip because the audio does get kind of fuckety.
Terrible show anyway.
Yeah, we don't know how to put.
Oh, there's another ISO I can have. Thank you, Aaron.
Really, this has been a terrible show anyway.
Yeah, we don't know how to put anything
up. It's been terrible.
On the thing.
We're awful. It's not been good.
I don't. Yeah, there's
Yeah, at this point, the audio
Mm.
is just too fuckety on Nick's end. We're going to have to go to another clip at this time. So thank you, NatClue 2.0. Going back to Stallion.
I saw that.
There's two I wanted to play back to back. This one from Stallion of the Fix Your Soul, followed by the cocaine parody from Will Heron. I find these fascinating back to back of Aaron being very concerned here. And I think he contradicts himself in this very clip of being concerned and then just shitting on the guy.
I saw that they turned up audio of Nick's jerking off clip. And look, coming to the same result that Andy and PPP did is like the easier, juicier way to go. But at the same time, it's just before that, he's like doing like a DSP joke, and DSP's famous for jacking off on the stream. He's just so fucked up and out of his.
Oh, the camera was on the whole time.
One of my favorite clips of all time. Huh?
The guy, the follow up when I think he's playing Friday the 13th, and the two other players. You're the guy, and now the guy I associate with who jerked off on stream.
Exactly.
He's the guy. And I did get a request from a beloved commenter to do an Opie stream coming up. I did put a pause on everyone that I did 3 episodes on, but I think coming up on my 1 year doing this, I'll return to Ryback was a favorite of mine, DSP, and Opie for a number 4 co-host audition.
Yeah, I like the Ryback clip in the beginning of your show where he's just like, I don't need a co-host.
That was from his own stream. I didn't have that one on co-host auditions. I dabbled, if you will. Fuck it. I'm not close to the dabble alarm. But in just straight up trolling people in the chat and the comments, I was like, this trolly. Actually, there's someone I did a co-host audition on who asked me to stop, and I did, and she started commenting again. Stop doing this. I'm like, I'm trying not to be a troll. You're really throwing out a lot of troll bait. I said, all right. I was trying to make this be fun-loving, take some jabs, and offered an interview. And she came back with another. I stopped doing this, and you're throwing this troll bait out to me. I'm trying not to be a troll.
Wearing a meat dress in a lion cage, basically.
I'm really trying not to do an episode 3 on her. I'm not gonna throw her name out there because she.
You're too nice.
Yeah,
You're too nice, dude. You're doing good.
Yeah. If I say her name and I do another episode on her, I've taken the troll bait and I've gone to the other side, and a lot of you beloved chatters will enjoy trolling her as well.
And fried Holocaust-bodied brain that he can't pull it off right. It's a disaster. Look, one thing I will not joke about is the fact that I do believe he's got money. Go to Hazleton, take some time off, get the fuck off the internet, go get help.
Concerned, Aaron.
Healthy. You're rotting. You're literally watching a man rot. And the problem is he thinks he's too fucking smart and that he has to attack people who tell him this. Anyone who tells him, you're rotting, you're not doing well, you're physically repulsive to look at.
Okay, and there it's the turn. Concerned Aaron, and then you need to find someone, why not be me, to just shit on you for a minute straight.
You're pale, you look terrible, you need to go somewhere, you need to get off all the junk you're putting in your body. Even whatever foods you're putting, let's change everything up while we're at it. Let's do like a whole system flush. Let's get you gaining 25 to 30 pounds at least.
And remember, he started this off being just concerned, and then you need someone to tell you, and then he's shitting on him with all this.
I'll be happy to be the one to tell you how you're fucking your life up.
Very publicly.
And let's get you back on a good track. You got 5 fucking kids. Quit fucking around and get your goddamn shit together. Money masks a lot of shit, but it can't buy a new soul. So get your fucking soul in order. And by the way,
This is what
righteous
really makes me laugh. Get your soul in order. Fix your soul.
Unbelievable.
it shouldn't take people like Alex Stein and me, who are fucking scumbags, by the way, to tell a man who claims to be holier than thou and Christian and religious and blah, blah, blah. It shouldn't take a bunch of degenerates for us to tell you that your fucking soul is at risk. Not only are you dying, but
what is that motion? Let me get that that chat out of the way. Well, actually, I'll address that first. But he's doing a weird hand motion that I want to make sure gets on screen. ABC True Crime believes that Kayla was. Oh, there I am. I'm becoming a stutterfuck. And I did confirm Dr. Steve. He's just a very busy man with a doctor's practice and going to Hackamania, but he will be coming on a Chatting With soon, but he couldn't do it this week as initially promoted. He wanted to, but just couldn't make it happen this week. So hopefully he can diagnose me as a stutterfuck or not. But Kayla, ABC True Crime believes she was going along with the swinging, and that does happen sometimes. Oh, I forget the guy's name from Silicon Valley. He was just screaming the praises of polyamory and how it saved his marriage. And the wife came out later being like, this was terrible. So someone being absolutely dragged into it rather than it being mutual that you decide over a long period of time. That's another taking a sledgehammer to the crumbling if one just steamrolls it through.
Awful.
But you're rotting spiritually. And you're taking people with you.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to back that up just a little bit to get that hand motion. He's like doing some type of gun hand motion with this soul.
To tell you that your fucking soul is at risk.
Your soul is at risk. And as we found out on Tales from the Crypt, the soul does exist. That one, when it comes time to Halloween, I think I'd like to take a different variation of successful failures and cover some of our favorite episodes of Tales from the Crypt once we get closer to Halloween. There's a lot of those I absolutely love. But that is for later. And I had to cover this week. I definitely wanted to take a break from successful failures because I've got a lot on my plate right now, especially with getting What Is This Game back going again. Hopefully at some point the guest for the Arkham Knight will come around because we completed that one, but right now we're playing Hades, and God, do I love playing Hades. I'll be back with Annie on What Is This Game soon to cover What Is Hades, and you're on deck with Prey. I haven't played Prey before, but Spurg Snake, Annie and I will be talking about Prey after the Hades episode coming up soon.
I look forward to that Hades episode. I played it a bit. I didn't quite finish it. I liked it a lot. It's a roguelike. You're going to die. You're going to keep coming back. And it's part of the story. It's built into the mechanic of the game. Yeah,
that's what's really cool. It's part of the narrative. And I got pretty far. Like the story keeps advancing. I don't think I got to the end, but I'm pretty damn far in it. Well, I started a new file, but my longest one, I'm pretty damn far into the narrative.
Nice. And Prey is Prey 2017. It's like a reboot of the franchise that came out before. It's very different than the one I played.
Preacher Aaron.
Not only are you dying, but you're rotting spiritually.
He is being very much like a preacher right now, principled uncertainty. He is talking to his lost sheep here. Nick Ricada, we need you to come back to the herd of the sheep.
I'll start thumping a motherfucker.
Taking people with you. You know, I mean, I got the fuck away from that vortex. Because every time I tried to talk about anything being a problem, I was dismissed. I was, you get that long explanation of, well, actually, if you read the things I've read, you'll see that actually what it does is it can actually help you by raising your ability to cope with stress. And drop some of your fucking stress.
He is, if he takes actually he could keep the anger. Very Baptist of you to keep the anger here in this type of pastoral thing you are doing here, talking to the sinners of the Raketas. You were good people. You were taking my ropey loads. And J-Bra believes Aaron caught the feels for Lady Rackets, which is another reason why he is just going scorched earth and so fucking angry. I can see that.
Oh, yeah. No, he bought her Valentine's Day gifts, dude. You don't do that for somebody else's wife, swinger or no. You shouldn't be... I don't know how exactly it would work in the polyamory thing, but as a second guy, I don't think you're supposed to be doing that kind of stuff if it's not your primary partner.
Well, you see, I have 5 children that are homeschooled. Send them to fucking public school or private school or something. Get the fucking stress off your chest. Do something else. It ain't working. Go do something else. Or be 140 pounds. Go on the internet looking like death warmed over. Take a 45-minute break and come back with powdered sugar. I don't know what the fuck it was on your nose. Look like an asshole for all your children to see. I don't give a fuck.
Are we still on what someone else should be telling them, Aaron? I think we're still 2 minutes into the I care about you. Someone should tell you this. I don't know who, but someone should tell you this word for word.
Exactly. And that someone is going to be me. Like, that's the only line he's missing out of this.
I have heard that support Baldo that boofing is quite the experience. I have never boofed myself. I've heard the kids have boofed booze, have taken the beer bong up their butt. Actually, the John Cena Cockblockers movie, that was a joke in there as well of boofing the alcohol. So, but no, I have not done butt play with drugs myself.
Fuck. But don't sit here and preach to the rest of us. Don't sit here and tell any of us who have ever been concerned about you that we just don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That you're so goddamn fucking smart, and the rest of us are just, well, you just believe everything in a DARE pamphlet. You know what? The DARE kids are probably doing a little bit better at this point.
I don't know if we're going to get to the clips today. At some point, he does change the why so serious to dare. So everything he puts there at that bottom level of the dry erase board in his chicken scratch handwriting is just more douche chilling than the last.
His chicken scratch handwriting is only mildly better than the police officer's handwriting on the search warrant. That was hard to decipher.
Sam Bibley really wants the potato. Maybe one of these weeks we'll send him a link. I'm still trying to get an accumulation of Aaron shitting on April clips to have our lady divorce expert in for. I specifically want those clips when I have the lady divorce expert as a third mic. And I haven't accumulated. I've got like 1, maybe 2 in the queue. I don't have enough yet for that. But the potato
Money can mask
is demanding. We'll see. Cardiff may be into it. He may not be. He seems like he might be into it.
A lot of shit when it's going wrong, but it can't buy you a new soul. It can't buy you the respect of others. It can't buy you a good relationship with people very close to you. It can't do that. You have to do that. But in order to do that, you have to want to do that. So quit fucking up.
Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. She's got to want to be saved. That last part really gave me some giggles.
That you have to want to do that. So quit fucking up. Or here's the wonderful thing about me being free of this. Or don't.
That is such a good clip. Thank you so much for that one. That is too funny.
Shit, I haven't taken notes of which clips to get ISO'd. That's another one that would be really fun ISO'd. Principled Uncertainty, you are one of my favorite beloved chatters. And on Chatting with Beloved Chatters, Annie O'Ryan did point you out as her absolute favorite chatter amongst the shows that we are in the live chat for. Aaron's the type of guy who would use the same hooker twice and then propose.
Yeah, no, he is that guy. He falls in love with anybody that bats an eyelash at him. There you go. She likes me. I got to lock that down.
So
Good point, G-Rob.
I did put these two back to back to show Aaron being concerned and then him just making a mockery of the situation. But I didn't even need two clips in a row. In that one clip of him being concerned, he immediately went to mocking the situation. So here's him more of mocking the situation, showing how insincere he was of actually caring.
Try to speak like an intellectual and slip in a reference to Jews.
I wonder if he got April a shitty gift, G-Rob, or if it was only a gift to Lady Rackets. that is a fun point that we know that Kayla got a gift. We don't know if April got a gift.
I'm guessing no.
Blacks stare at the ceiling and tell the rest of you in elongated vowels and consonants how much fucking smarter I am than you. But you wouldn't get it because you're dumb. Guys, just give me a few minutes. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
I actually find this to be a funny bit. If he were just coming out and being a complete dick the entire time, not showing this fake type of attempting to be the hero, as Colin Madden is pointing out, that Aaron is trying to have another W for toe. But no, what should he do, Mr. Lawyer?
Just take the loss, Mr. Toe Man.
That's what he should do.
Just take day out, man.
We're back.
Solid acting there. Solid over the top. This is theater acting. The difference between theater and film is you go more over the top so the people in the cheap seats can see what you're doing. Film, be more understated. But solid theater acting there of really being on the blow.
We're back on the show. How are you guys doing? I just had to go pee really quick. And when I went to go pee, I just decided, I'm just really excited to do the show. And everything's fine. And if you want me to do a kids party, I can do.
That's the cocaine clown, not the cocaine lawyer. We want Dr. Roxo for the kids' party, not Nick Rekieta, not Nikki McGill there with his lawyer stand inside. I wonder if it's a kiosk, a lawyer kiosk inside the mall, if it's not even a storefront.
There's a little stand next to Orange Julius.
So there, that goes on for quite a while. I think I'm done with that clip for now. So we do have Cockburst Anonymous with some
Minnesota
details.
An online legal analyst
from
Nick
the
Rekieta
arrest.
is facing multiple charges in Candiota County. Rekieta was arrested Thursday along with his wife Kayla and April Imholt. Prosecutors filed charges against Rekieta and his wife on Friday for second-degree possession, child endangerment, and a gross misdemeanor firearm charge. According to the charges, law enforcement attempted to execute a search warrant on May 23rd at Rekieta's home in Spicer and was greeted by a girl at the front door who would not let them inside. After Rekieta refused to provide the door.
And it was one of the kids, I believe, right? They're saying a girl. It seems like all reports that's coming out, it was one of the children that was instructed, and they weren't doing the Goodfellas. They were not flushing it down the toilet. Nick was outside. I believe he was stopped by police. I was thinking he got into the house, but so he's outside. We have Kayla and the two. That's why they didn't flush. I bet if Nick was inside, he might have had the wherewithal to flush. But you have the two coke whores in there with their newly bought ounce that they've barely touched. Of course, they're not flushing it. What do we do? What do we do?
From what I understand, the girls were downstairs in the kitchen, doing whatever they were doing, and yeah, the second youngest daughter wouldn't let the police in. Nick was in the car with the oldest daughter coming back, or he was taking her to the school, and the cops stopped him and brought him back to the house.
That explains why there's 4 children inside, as this will get to. So Nick and the one daughter outside. Two. Sorry that I'm calling you coke whores, but from the evidence, that's what the bill that you're fitting at this moment in your life.
Especially the lady Imholt.
Door code. Law enforcement used a door ram to get in the house and found Kayla, April, and 4 juveniles inside. Law enforcement proceeded to search the master bedroom and bathroom, where they allegedly found a variety of drug paraphernalia, including a digital
black vial with a white substance, positive for cocaine, 2.2. Credit cards for April. The gun is a 22 caliber. Following
No.
located. What?
It's a 22 caliber spent shell that's on the
spent
ground.
shell. Yeah, I should have kept reading. The 22 caliber spent shell. So usually you don't take spent shells and place them elsewhere unless you're framing someone. So we must assume that there's a bullet hole somewhere in that bedroom from practice.
Possibly. I'll after we go through this clip, I'll give my quick analysis of that search warrant thing there, or at least what I know is to be flawed.
Bag with cards and dollar bill that field tested positive for cocaine. So it does mention the rolled up dollar bill that had cocaine residue on it. It doesn't mention the credit cards of April having residue on it. And we would assume that it would say so since it's mentioning the residue over here. Large corner cut baggie with white powder, field test 18.96. So that's what was still remaining in, we must assume, I'll assume anyways, was the ounce that they bought. But yeah, a whole bunch of paraphernalia and the spent
digital
shell.
scale, a yellow snort tube positive for cocaine, a black vial with white substance inside that field tested positive for cocaine and weighed 2.2 grams, 2 credit cards listed to April Imholt, and 2.22 caliber spent shell casings on the floor of the nightstand in the master bedroom. Authorities also found a Sig Sauer AR with several magazines and loose ammunition underneath the bed, a spent shell casing on the bedroom floor, and located additional firearms and ammunition in the garage. In the master bedroom dresser, a glass container with metal filter and grinder that field tested positive for cocaine. A bag with cards and a dollar bill that field tested positive for cocaine were found in a safe in the master bathroom. Police also found a large corner cut baggie with white powder that field tested positive for cocaine and weighed 18.96 grams with packaging. 3 small baggies that field tested positive for cocaine and weighed 5.49 grams with packaging. 8 green colored tablets that field tested positive for ketamine. A digital scale that field tested positive for cocaine. A metal pan with white powder on it.
That's a fun little addition of them doing the bounce up and down. Wee drugs, wee ketamine.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, that's one I did not experiment with. The one thing that I said I will never, ever experiment with is heroin, because I came from a place where it was very prevalent. I'm almost positive 2020 on ABC did a report on heroin high of Westminster, Maryland. And so I saw a lot of people. I've always said this, not to call back to Aaron, but like their soul is gone. You see someone who is deep into heroin and it's something with their eyes where they're just gone. So that was something of like, I will lose myself with that. Meth is another one that has come on the list of like, I don't need to experiment with that. But from a very young age, seeing what heroin did to people, nope. That is not going to try that one.
Yeah, I also grew up in a very saturated area. The police would refer to them as a DLA or DRA, drug-related area, with extra high patrols and stuff. But yeah, man, there's just some drugs you got to stay away from, even if you only try it once for the experiment. I never have done ketamine, and the only time I did heroin, I put it up my nose. There's no way I'm sticking my arm with a needle.
The old Artie Lang.
Right, which also, if we get into the warrant, what they found, the physical evidence, there was no syringes in the house. But yet some people said that Nick had track marks on his arm.
I heard that report. So far, we haven't heard that in this report, but sounds like it was boofing or up the nose.
Yep.
And Cardiff Electric's potato senses are very good. Sam Bibley put up the potato signal, and Cardiff comes right on over. Welcome, Mr. Potato. Thanks for coming into a Goofing on Imholt stream. Bibley would like to see you on here. We'll see one day if you would like to get the link.
Send them the link.
A digital scale that field tested positive for cocaine. A metal pan with white powder on it that tested positive for cocaine. 2 snort tubes and 2 metal cutters. The snort tubes tested positive for cocaine. The following items were located in a safe in the master bedroom closet. $100 bill with white powder residue that field tested positive for cocaine. Vindal white bag with white powder substance that field tested positive for cocaine. A cocaine scooper. 2 baggies within a baggie with a funnel. An unknown brown substance. Additional firearms and ammunition were located in the garage. The total amount of measurable cocaine in the master bedroom was 26.67 grams with packaging. Police took Rikeda and his wife Kayla into custody, and he told law enforcement.
Kayla doesn't look awful there. She looked so haggard in that mugshot and in the interview afterwards. That must be from a few months ago. These recent months have not been good to her.
Oh no, all 3 of them.
This is your drugs. This is your. This is your face. This is your face on drugs. Both Nick and Kayla, they look good here. This is definitely a few months ago or longer, and they look all right. And they do not look all right currently.
Wife stayed in the master.
I mentioned on someone else's stream that who tattled on Nick doing drugs. Nick's face tattled on him doing drugs.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing that gave him away.
Bedroom, where law enforcement claimed to find most of the drug paraphernalia, but allegedly refused to answer questions about the cocaine. Before his arrest, some online users had raised concerns about Rikeda's health this week, sharing a clip of him appearing to doze off during a stream. Law enforcement noted Rikeda had several injuries to his arms at the time of his arrest. They described the injuries as sores that are common with controlled substance users. Detective Pomplin met with Nick outside the residence. He was read his Miranda rights and he agreed to speak with officers without counsel. Nick indicated that he sleeps in the master bedroom with Kayla. He indicated that April Imholt was at the home visiting. Nick and Kayla were placed under arrest. Detective Pomplin noted several injuries to the arms of Nick that appeared consistent with sores that are common with controlled substance users. They were
okay. Right here we have it in the report. No needles in the house, but his arm is consistent. Maybe he's like Johnny Crutches, and he's just getting some medical. No, he's not.
They were transported to the Kandiohi County Jail. Kayla did not speak with officers. At the Kandiohi County Jail, Nick was again read his Miranda rights and agreed to speak with officers without an attorney. Nick refused to answer any questions regarding cocaine or other controlled substance use. Nick indicates that he lives in the residence. He stays in the master bedroom with his wife Kayla. April Imholt was a friend who was visiting and does not live at the residence. While being booked into the jail, Kayla requested that her
prescription kind of does. She's on an extended stay visit at the Rikeda's house, it appears.
Prescription medication be brought to her. Upon reviewing the prescription,
we all thought she was at her parents', but that's what made Aaron even more angry, is that she was not at her parents' house.
Nope, they had effectively kidnapped April from Aaron. It was exactly how, like the
what's that term when you get affection for your kidnapper? Like before she was kidnapped, she already had that.
Florence Nightingale thing?
Possibly. Florence Nightingale syndrome.
Right, where like I might also be thinking of the one where you keep somebody sick so they're codependent on you.
Which keeping someone an addict, that does keep them codependent on you.
Bottles for Kayla that were brought to the jail. Jail staff found 2 unknown pills and gummies in one of the prescription bottles.
Thank you, Doom. Stockholm before she had Stockholm for her captors before she ever like Aaron was basically her captor. That's why she developed Stockholm for someone else to keep her.
These items did not match the prescription on the bottle. After returning home, Nick posted on Locals that no one has the full story or picture on anything. It's possible no one ever will. Nothing reported is accurate, and that's not their fault. Stay tuned for show announcements and stuff here on Locals.
Thank you all for playing. The syndrome is right. Doom did buzz in first, so he does get to go to players row and go on to spin the big wheel here at the syndrome is right.
People have been speculating as to whether April's former co-host and soon-to-be ex-husband, Aaron Imholt, may have been behind the entire thing from the beginning. Aaron stated on his podcast, The Steel Tone...
That was something that was speculated very quickly, that Aaron had something to do with it, because that's just what we think of him. That is what he is putting out to the world, that we believe that he's the snitch to get this going. It appears that it was the pastor of the church having enough people coming to him being like, we're concerned of the kids, to get the welfare check happening. But you are such the person, Aaron, that we all were like, yeah, that sounds right. Aaron turning in the Ricadas to the police for a raid, that sounds right.
Yeah, agreed.
Tone morning show that he had made repeated attempts to get April to leave the house in the days prior to the raid, including contacting April's family and suggesting they attempt to get her out of the Ricadas' home. After struggling to surpass 10.7K subscribers for months, Aaron's podcast managed to gain over 1,000 new subscribers in the past 2 days. He stated that the show will be getting much better now that he is free to do his own thing again, and plans to reveal
another Opie parallel. Now that Anthony's gone and I can do what I want, the show is really going to take off.
Ain't no broads holding us back.
Until SiriusXM forced one upon them. Who was it? Esther Koo, I think, at the end of Opie and Jim. They were like, you need a lady. After years and years of saying, it's a hole. And then SiriusXM, what the fuck are you guys doing? Have a hole.
a number of stories regarding the Imholt's relationship with the Ricadas over the past 6 months. Many have commented that Aaron might not be in the clear yet and may want to consider a potential retaliation from April and Nick. A message from April was screenshot and posted on Twitter stating my charges were dropped. I'm not an addict. Someone else did this to me.
I did this to me. People of my age and younger may have had that video of the heroin kills. I did this to me in your middle school or high school health class. In Maryland, everyone remembers that song. Who did this to me? I did this to me. And principled uncertainty. You're absolutely right. And it's funny how unlikable Aaron is that even if he's putting the children's safety, we're still like, you cunt. Well, we don't see it as Aaron looking after the children's safety. We see it as him going after revenge, and the children's safety just happened to be in the circle of his revenge.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was a two birds with one stone kind of thing. He was looking to wreck the relationship.
Well,
oh, God. Sorry.
April and the Ricadas go their separate ways and put this mess behind them, or is this just the beginning of a very dark chapter? Share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe.
I really screwed my nose up at dinner. You know what I mean?
Just doing too much.
Yeah, at dinner. I screwed my nose up at dinner, if you know what I mean.
That cocaine.
No, it wasn't that at all.
Fucking cane.
Don't tell people that.
Well,
wasn't that at all.
Quit doing blow for dinner and start eating food. Why do you think you're getting so thin?
It was literally I was eating.
I'm just kidding. She's not getting thin because she's not eating and doing coke. She's getting thin because she's not eating and smoking crack.
That's somehow not any better.
It's worse. It's worse.
So maybe she really was Minnesota 9 before she lost that weight. Because her in that bikini and that skeletal figure, she dropped a whole Minnesota hotness point to me.
Yeah, I agree. She got real bony. And right there at the end of that clip, that's him taking jabs. She was upstairs taking sniffs for dinner. And he just put her out there just like that. And she was like, shut up, stop lying. But she wasn't really fighting about it either. You know, she wasn't outraged. Especially when we were all yelling.
She didn't really have she doesn't have the comedy chops to come back with it in any type of way. And especially when it's true, she's probably catching her off guard of, you're saying this on air right here, right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I felt. Like he just was putting her on blast and she got caught off guard. Couldn't make a joke.
You were mentioning you had a point to make after that video, something to do with the arrest or the search.
Yeah. Okay. So, like they said, there was marks on their arms that were consistent with drug abuse. They didn't say it was intravenous or track marks. I think G. Rob mentioned it could have just been sores. They could be picking at themselves. The other
Yes.
thing is, there was a 22 caliber spent shell. They found 4 guns in the house. One was the AR, the Sig Sauer AR, under the bed. The other 2, we'll start again. The AR was under the bed. There was a shotgun in the garage. Also in a safe in the garage was a 45 1911 and a 308, also made by Sig Sauer. There was no 22 caliber gun found in the house. He's probably driving around with a gun in the glove box of his car, and the spent shell might be from him or his wife goofing around with their gun. The 308 and the 22, I'm gonna sound like a dork saying this, but I consider those to be like lady guns. They're smaller, more compact handguns that you can put in your pocket, whereas like the 1911 is a sidearm that's going in a holster no matter what. But out of 4 guns, there was no 22 in the house. So where that is, I don't know. He had about an ounce of coke in the house. They're weighing it in the baggie. You can probably argue to get a couple grams off, but it's still 20 plus. There was a scale with coke residue and 2 weighed out bags. That's a dealer. They could have put him up with intent to distribute as well.
Yeah, having that much on you, that they often drop you with intent to distribute, which possibly, I mean, I had friends who would get a big old block of it and then deal to their friends, so their baggie would be free.
Right, exactly. And I'm pretty sure that's what Nick was doing, was parting out small bags. He would probably get an ounce at a time, part out the small bags, make his money back, sell a couple 8 balls, he's good. So there's a lot of physical evidence to that drug abuse, and I suspect the brown powder is it's not Molly exactly. It's probably a research chemical. Research chemical that was really popular back in the day. There was like 2CE and 2CI and 2CB, which all mimicked LSD in a way. And I know there's other ones that mimic MDMA. It's much like the spice weed that was coming out. It was like just a distilled chemical form of a weed high, and it was sending people into massive panic attacks. So I'm thinking it's something along those lines. There's a glass grinder.
What about that synthetic weed that really fucked people up much more than
Dude.
weed would?
Exactly. There was also a grinder with a glass container and a metal filter screen attached to it. So they were grinding up that ketamine with the coke and whatever that brown substance is. They were mixing it all together. I am 90% sure.
Mention a scale with residue on it, correct?
Yeah, coke residue on the scale, nothing else. No ketamine on the scale, just the coke.
Yeah, good. Somehow we were almost missing that. VJJS is that VJJS, that coke residue on the scale.
That's it.
Pretty good evidence of them taking that and getting theirs for free. Maybe making a small profit of. We're getting it for us. We know people that want it. Let's break even or make a profit on this.
Yeah, and that's the life experience talking, the educated guess right there. What he could say in court is, "Oh, I'm weighing out 2.5 grams for me and my wife every day."
And Spurge has another point. We're doing speedballs.
Exactly that too. I'm pretty sure they were
safe about doing our speedballs. It killed Farley. It killed Belushi. We are doing speedballs safely.
It seems like that's what he was doing, especially from that last stream he was online where he was just ripped out of his mind. He wasn't just yacked out on the devil dandruff. He was doing some downers, and they all admit to doing Molly, which wasn't even found anywhere in the house.
Molly.
I know I keep
Oh,
saying it.
I
Y'all call it
really
Molly
hope-
now?
I really hope that I should have looked this up since yesterday. If Minnesota allows cameras in the courtroom, Vijay's, you say it does?
Yes, I know for sure that they can. There was
We
a
are
Daryl
going to
Brooks
see
case.
Jimmy McGill style defenses. Vijay says that the court won't buy that, but Jimmy McGill, better call Nikki, gimme Nikki. That we are going to see a Jimmy McGill type of defense of what's going on. This is gonna be fun.
Right. And I see some people in chat saying that the scale is pretty damning, and it does depend on his lawyer. His lawyer is not happy with Nick. You know, he's
which
just
is himself. As we last heard, he could still change his mind, but currently it's himself.
yeah, and that's going to be an issue. Some people were saying he's going to go soft sit, but that's not what he's going to do. He's smart enough with the law to try to skirt around as much as he can. That's why I mentioned earlier he'll get the weight of the baggie off. He'll get some of the paraphernalia not there, but he's got to answer for 4 guns, 2 of which were for sure unsecured, and the state of the house. The police made observations of the state of the house. Dirty dishes, the clothes were everywhere. The house was dusty and dirty. And there's a bunch of digital evidence as well that will come out. I'm pretty sure there will. I don't know if there will be for Nick's case cameras in the courtroom, but they do. There was a Daryl Brooks case that he drove an SUV into an oncoming parade and killed like 6 people. And he was a sovereign citizen and tried to represent himself in court. And that went horribly bad. And some of the other digital evidence that's around. There's photographs of Nick, screenshots from his streams where he has, booger sugar falling out his nose. There's body cam footage from 3, 6, 9 cameras. There's a PowerPoint that the police had put together based on some of screenshots from this guy's podcast with Nick and Nick's podcast. So there's a lot. They're saying it's 26 grams with packaging, so he might be able to get it down to 22. That's still with a scale, dude. That's a hefty amount. Okay, I think I'm done ranting.
I know that.
Yeah, we've got a lot to cover. The St. Cloud Divorce Show might switch over to the Nikki McGill Show come August if this does go to trial. It's going to be nuts. And also another way to jump on the bandwagon to be like, over here, how about some views? How about some subscribes?
Absolutely. That's how Nick Rekieta built his channel up, was covering court trials. And he would also have other lawyers on to help break it down with him. That's how he built it. Literally doing what we're doing, except for court cases. Oh, there was something else I was. Oh, what did you say? Damn it! You said what did you say just before we got into this? I can't remember now.
I was going
August. I got it. I remember. August is an omnibus hearing, which is something that exists in Minnesota only. I think. I don't know other states. It's a state by state thing. But Nick filed for an omnibus hearing, which means the trial has to take place within 45 days. The hearing on August 8th is the prosecutor trying to deny him the omnibus trial so they can get more evidence.
That's not the circus. That's just basically a preliminary hearing that's going to be like this guy's asking for horse shit here with this omnibus trial.
Right. If it eventually goes to a jury trial, it will probably be late September, early November, depending on how fast the court system moves.
And we do have Aaron talking about Nick Rekieta's top-notch lawyering skills when he had a traffic court case here with April Imholt.
Know that some people don't like it when I don't spill the beans, as they're saying. I will say what the case.
He likes to kind of scatter the beans And this is from So Thorough Joe Burrow. He speeds up and slows down the clips at times. So that's a artistic choice from So Thorough Joe Burrow when this gets a bit fast.
The Kino Casino guy said was true. What we do in the dark will come to the light. Hold on, or should I say? Why are you doing it? Jesus Christ. April and I, had an HRO meeting with with my lawyer about the stuff my ex-wife was doing. My ex-wife didn't,
Oh, he's
idiot.
actually talking about Ashley LaRue. I was like, he's already calling April his ex, but he's talking about the legal stuff that Ashley LaRue saw April tweaking when she dropped the kids off and put started some legal proceedings to. I don't know exactly what it was. I think he calls it an HRO. He says it in a little bit, but Ashley LaRue was trying to get legal involved to stop April from driving the kids at all after she showed up with him absolutely tweaking.
Yep. Yeah, she was out of sorts, I guess you could say, to put it politely.
Let's just say he didn't want certain people driving the children. And
come on, this is just fucking annoying when you're trying to be like, it's not my story to tell, it's not me that she's getting this injunction against, it's someone else, certain people. And we have seen in the past, she doesn't like Aaron driving the kids either. He drives like a fucking maniac and hasn't learned how not to.
Yeah, both of them are notorious speeders.
And speedballers there for a little bit.
Show up for that because I was like, all right, let's get this over with, blah, 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 the whole deal. And she didn't show up for that.
Reality. Oh, boy. Popeye, the cocaine man.
And she didn't show up for that.
Right there, that's a picture of a guy that has the room swirls. The text is moving across the screen.
Sam Bibley, thanks for tuning in. It did take me way too long to realize I have the invite button right here at my fingertips. So by chat request, I did send it over to Cardiff. Eventually, it took me way too long to realize, oh, I do have that control right here. I don't need to go to a completely different screen. But I do believe Cardiff, very much like Dr. Steve, is an adult with a real job in the middle of the day. I'm a half an adult. I've got off Wednesdays and Thursdays. And as I mentioned yesterday, I would be ending the stream to go to work about this time. But it's my weekend in the middle of the week because I have kind of a real job rather than a real job like Dr. Steve and Cardiff.
I like having back-to-back off days that aren't weekends like that. Because now you got the kind of all to yourself. There's not much going on Wednesday, Thursday. You can get some shit done.
Once I get my bank account up enough, I'd like to go to 4 days and have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to have that one day where everyone else is partying to join them.
Oh, well, yeah, nice, nice call.
I do get off before it's too late, so I can go partying, but most of the time I don't feel like it after work.
Agreed.
Reality is that you have two options.
There's someone else in that. This really is starting to piss me off the more I watch it. There is someone else in that room with him, and they are not shutting this the fuck down.
Right? Why?
Yes, that's why you're pissed, because that someone else isn't shutting it down, not because that someone else is being there is pissing you off.
Dude, for all the outrage he's showing now. Where was that when he should have been doing the right thing? I agree with Jay Brown.
Why are they
That's
watching
probably
this and going?
Yeah, knowing the law enough as he does, I'm guessing no actual time served. I'll put my money on that. No jail time served unless he continues to fuck up. But he should be smart enough to keep his nose clean at least for a while. Unless he's really down that rabbit hole.
Right.
Rehab. And he, the drinking, Yeah, they'd probably put it into the drinking as well as the drugs. I would imagine they would want him to stop all that shit on probation.
Oh yeah, likely he's going to have to report twice a month for the first however long the probation officer decides, and then probably once a month after that. And depending on how it goes, he can get put on a once every 6 months, depending on the probation officer and what they decide and how well behaved he is. But I'm guaranteed he's going to be looking at multiple years of probation. I'm going plus 3 years.
I don't think I have Stallion 19's clip that Principal Uncertainty is talking about in the queue at this point, where Aaron is saying that no, the worst shit was not happening while I was around. It got progressively worse, and it was bad when I was there. And I should have done something sooner, but it got worse. Once I left, that's when all the really bad stuff happened.
Yeah, I know. He keeps trying to distance himself, but it's not working.
He really did. Like when April got arrested, I'm like, oh, steel toe face turn. April is now the heel. Nope. Absolutely amazing, Aaron, that you've handled this to still be a heel.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very excellent point.
1998. He's trying to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. What would Stone Cold Steve Austin do in this situation? He would keep being a selfish asshole, and people would cheer him. Well, you're not Stone Cold.
What? He doesn't have a crowd like that. Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get to that clip today. I think that's somewhere in the queue of him doing that what bit with a caller.
That's a shitty person. That's a shitty, whatever you consider yourself, friend, whatever, that's a shitty person.
Hey, you. Why don't you wipe your fucking nose off, man?
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Go away. Don't take a couple of days off. A couple of days off is nothing. You will be back at it in no time. If you're not back at it already, it's just not streaming. Go the fuck away. And to the person who's in that fucking room, shame on you forever and ever.
Fuck you, April. Fuck you forever.
Yeah, exactly. And I like how he does. This is like how he does his details. He'll give you detail 1, detail 2, detail 4. Like you can't figure out the number 3 with what he gives you. He does, and he thinks that he's dancing around some type of involvement by not actually saying a name. It doesn't matter, dude. What can be inferred by what you say is pretty important as well.
This isn't the underpants gnome step 2 that literally is a question.
Right.
You're doing the 1, 2, 3, and we would have figured out the underpants gnomes what they were missing if they had a 1, 2, and 3. You're correct there. 1, 2, 4, much too easy to figure out that number 3.
Yep.
Fucking help. You're sitting there enabling. Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's good? You think I didn't try to fucking warn you about this?
Mm-hmm.
You're an asshole. You're a monster. You're just trying to ruin everybody's fun. I tried to fucking warn you about this. Every goddamn, Keanu, I told you this in private. I'll tell you this in public. All of this has taken the joy out of, I told you so. It's taken all my joy out of, I told you I was right. It doesn't feel good. Because when I had that opinion, this is not what I had in mind. I didn't want to see this. So, okay, call me an asshole. Call me a monster. Call me a piece of shit. I'm all kinds of terrible things. I got it. I got between you.
But do you really?
No. You don't got
it. And the powdered donuts. Like this guy, it's a problem and nobody's fucking helping him. There are people there that I know that I thought were good people and nobody's fucking doing anything.
Keanu is too attractive for Gino.
Yes, I agree. She's very
Gino
pretty.
isn't funny enough for Keanu. I've giggled at Gino like twice, maybe 3 times ever. Because if Gino was fucking hilarious, that could make up for the attractive Keanu being with that Simpsons character that he is.
Yeah, odd couple. I don't know how they wound up together. Good on him, I guess.
I guess he's not flat broke anymore, as the song would make me think.
He's just broke, Gino, not flat broke.
Literally, you're sitting at home, you're sitting somewhere watching a guy kill himself. And you go, oh, this is cool. He's got a Mustang.
A Mustang. Okay, we'll see where we're at after these couple of clips of Aaron fake crying. We may be at the 2-hour mark, and to me, I believe that's about the time to tap out before you've had too much of these folks talking about a thing. I don't like to overstay my welcome like some streamers. Some streamers don't overstay their welcome, but keep you wanting more or having just enough at 90 minutes to 2 hours, as Aaron does a little bit of both of these seem like a lot of fake crying.
Oh, yeah.
They hopefully they can look back at this day as the day it all turned around. Because the next step is death. You die. I looked at April in that mugshot and she looked.
No one looks good in a mugshot. Actually, my cousin might have looked good in a mugshot. My cousin got arrested twice, and the first time, of course, it's a regular old mugshot, and the second time, I've got to find it. He smiled for it. Like, he had the sense of humor to be like, oh, they've got one of me looking like everyone else. Because that is public record. I've got to find my cousin's second mugshot of where he had some fun with it. Of like, God damn it, I'm in this situation again. They've got a downtrodden me. Have a happy me.
One of these, or the jazz hand mugshot. Yeah,
They
exactly.
probably told him to put his hands down, but that would be fun.
I looked at pictures of her. I looked at our wedding photos before I came down here. It's just not the same person. It's not the person I went to the gym with every day. It's not the person I went grocery shopping with. It's not the person that I hung out with at the house and, sat on the big cuddle recliner and watched movies.
It's not the person I berated through chatters
with. She's not the same person. Hasn't behaved like the same person for a while. And certainly doesn't look like the same person anymore.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Oh, dude, he's so fucking faking. What a faker.
And this one is from Based Pill. We haven't hit up Based Pill yet. And this first Aaron fake crying is from the Clipper Based Pill.
And
thank you for asking, Bane Koof. We're still on our way to monetization. Last I checked, I was at 385 subscribers. You need 500 minimum. And I do want to, I've got to get a business license here. I want to send that money to the proper place. And I am creeping up onto that monetization minimum. And I am getting enough unique people. That's another reason, asking the 12 people over and over again to donate. Whereas if I have a couple of dozen people stopping in, it doesn't seem as douchey of pulling out the old steel toe hat, asking the same 12 people for a couple of bucks. A few dozen, less douchey.
Yeah, I agree with that. Good model. Good model.
And fuck
yeah, we're in the building phase, but it does look like we are zeroing in on the asking for money phase with the amount of people watching and the ability to have that.
By the way, like, he introduced my wife to this and it took over. So fuck him, like, for the rest of his life. I will never be okay with that man again. Like, fuck him. Fuck what he's done to his family. Fuck him for that. Fuck him for what he's done to those children, and fuck him for what he did.
Once again, we don't believe that you're actually angry at what he did to those children, as you should be. We believe you are angry at the vengeance. And how have you done this, Aaron? This is kind of amazing that you're trying to be like, I care for those children. I'm angry at that. Bullshit.
Oh, yeah. It's 100% BS, dude. Because if he cared, those kids would have been at his house. And he would have left April with Nick and Kayla. If he's that concerned about somebody else's kids, being that dirty, being underfed, he has plenty of room in his own house.
But there wasn't Strange at his house. He had to go to their house for the Strange.
There was also no drugs in Aaron's house, except for what Nick brought in the house.
To my wife's future. Not that they all don't play a part for what they've done. But if the Rekieta household was run by Aaron Rekieta instead of Nick Rekieta, everyone would be a lot happier today. I can tell you that right now.
Coke or Aaron? Zach Matusik is going Coke. Let me just see. I can control myself. And as that episode of subreddit surfing pointed out, with the people doing meth, all think they have control over it. Everyone that they asked, and that's what every person doing Coke does. And if that's probably what I would have thought if I went down the Coke path, but nope, we're not searching it out, so that will not be an issue.
Yep, good choice.
You move the people in the Rekieta household into the Imholt household. Sorry, girls, there may not be a Mustang, but there'd be peace and freedom. I don't think they let you hold.
Are you offering? Oh, you're not offering? Well then, so what?
All that Mustang into the county jail. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm pissed off. My wife and I, after our trip to Las Vegas this year, were on cloud 9. I don't think we'd ever been better. I was a little concerned that we did Coke the night before we left. I didn't think that was a good thing, but we were away from it for a week, went to the Vikings game, did all the things we love to do together.
I knew at the time that we should stop doing this. Yeah, sure.
No, he was on top of the world, man. He went to Vegas. He's doing Coke. He's got a #1 YouTube show. Got a hot wife. Drug one of his best friends to Vegas with them. Split the room. Put on his favorite gaudy shirt. He was living it up, dude. He was smoking cigars, drinking whiskey, and he wants to be a guy like Nick. It's just, another one of those situations where he's sad he got caught instead of it working out completely in his favor. Like he just said.
This does reek of the performative empathy. Over on WATP, Carl Hamburger has taken to pointing out Stuttering John's narcissism. I actually groaned once he started talking about the narcissist stuff. I'm like, all right, so here comes some steel toe stuff. And then he got into 30 minutes of John. God damn it. But he did do a fun, long segment on steel toe, I believe, on the most recent episode that I just listened to on audio, I believe, on Tuesday. So Carl Hamburger, the turn has a hold of me, but it hasn't pulled me over. So I've been fence sitting for months now. Win me back, sir. You can do it. I believe in you, Mr. Hamburger.
Yeah, the John stuff's getting exhausting. Steel toe's refreshingly making its rounds.
There are so many fun new characters on Steel Toe. Frenchie, yes. The trans lady, old Beavis and Butthead, and the Steel Toe stuff. The John stuff, I think he's getting a lot of YouTube traction on. So Carl's still leaning into that. But as someone who's been a fan of yours since 2020, actually, I think I quoted 2019 earlier. 2020. I'm as someone who owns a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar costume, who spent a shitload of money on it, all considering, because it's actual NBA merch. I'm done with John. Check in for 5 to 10 minutes, and it's fun. But when those John segments keep going, please, just 5-10 minutes of John, and the turn won't be pulling me over against you so much, Mr. Hamburger.
Good analysis.
They went out to eat, went to the cigar lounge, played cards together, went to the Vikings game, hung out with all our friends, our real friends, and just had a great time. And when we got back, it was on like Donkey Kong, as they say. And the road to ruin began.
wonder April left him. They only ever did things that clearly appeal to him. Jay Bra, you're absolutely right on. Aaron can rewrite history like a champ. And we didn't see him really getting into that fake crying there.
About how you gave them SpaghettiOs because
But over on this show, he should have done the Ethan Ralph show. That's where he should have been like, maybe I shouldn't take this booking. But getting on Alex Stein, this was a proper booking to take, I believe, for Steel Toe Aaron.
because you were so earnest about it.
Oh, actually, I like him being centered there in the middle of his SS Minnow steel toe wheel there.
Yeah, I noticed
like
that.
framing.
Yeah, he centered himself. I'm pretty sure Pot Awful Jesse suggested it because he
Jesse
was
has
still
good ideas. Jesse has been doing this for a while. Jesse doesn't beg for tips. He has the model of here is a little appetizer for free. Come get the main course or come get the dessert for some extra money, where he doesn't need to beg for that. And that's what he was trying to tell Aaron to do. But Aaron gonna Aaron.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the same model that The Onion follows for the most part. There's stuff that's only on Overdose that he pulls off of YouTube. And it works, dude. Especially with members only content.
Yeah, I never got into Onions, but I can applaud him for how he's monetized it without coming off like a Dark Side Phil clone. As Aaron, you're the Dark Side Phil detractors have entered the Steel Toe arena. They have started throwing that into their wheelhouse. Those regular DSP detractors.
Yep. And he's got a whole Aaron's got a whole Kiwi Farms thread now. I'm pretty sure he's proud of that, even though he shouldn't be, because now he's got the wrong kind of eyes on him. But he's always happy to have eyes on himself.
It's more about attention, period.
Yes. Rather be famous than rich.
And then now looking back, it peeked into a window that we didn't, like everybody's saying, oh, he's giving them SpaghettiOs because he's not feeding the kids. And now looking back, and that was just internet rumors. It's all true, basically. So
Alex, here's my thing, is I get so frustrated when I watch these LawTuber people and they're covering for Nick and they're going, oh, I don't know how credible Aaron is. Like
fuck you for covering for the guy who is fucking my wife. And a little plug to Stallion19 is who got this clip. I believe Stallion19 just recently started clipping. I didn't see him with clips until about a month or so ago, but doing a good job so far, Stallion19.
And so through Joe Burrow as well. I think he's a bit on the newer side of clipping.
Yeah, I saw his subscribers, and judging by the subscribers, he's also really new to the clipping.
Yep, and I like it. I'm glad that everybody's clipping this guy and keeping the archive fresh. I think I mentioned it months ago. Everybody should be clipping and making money on Aaron because that's exactly low cow status. Everybody else will be cashing in on him more than himself here shortly.
Absolutely. Like the DSP people, detractors focused on him. Now the Aaron people, we're going to find out who are the top people in the Aaron clipping business. And this is kind of like a compilation and giving credit where credit's due, unlike certain dues payers who will just take the clips and play them.
Right. Yeah, always try to do your best to give a shout out if somebody plays a clip for you.
Every legal document that's come out with every piece of evidence has been exactly what I said it is. Like,
we have a tweet Robert Barnes. Let's put the Robert Barnes, because listen, I thought Robert Barnes, I had some respect for him, but he's sweeping for Nick. And if they did do an illegal search or whatever, then I guess Nick should have the charges thrown out. But Nick has been exposed as being a deadbeat dad, basically, because he doesn't have custody of his kids. His parents, mother-in-law, father-in-law are the ones that are taking care of it. He's openly using drugs in a household with 5 kids. One is 16. And you know how weird it is. I'm very close to my parents, Aaron. I get the impression that you were close with your parents. How weird would it be if you went in mommy and daddy's room and there's a couple, 4 people sleeping in bed, having late night sex, doing God knows what? That's not a good, parental influence. Would you agree?
I'm ashamed of what I've done. I've been told by people, stop, apologize.
I'm ashamed because I've got seething anger.
Stop being ashamed. I don't feel good that I was doing these things and all this was going on. You get carried away. And the worst part is 99% of the time I wasn't on drugs.
Yeah.
99% of the time, it works all the time. What?
That's
Boy,
right.
I really fucked up that Anchorman quote, didn't I? Didn't I, Duke Phillips? I fucked up that Anchorman quote.
Where's the joke? Sir, we're on the air. I know we're on the air, but where's the joke?
It was muddled, Duke.
You know, I did some experimenting and I wasn't a big fan of it, and I would encourage others to get off it, and that wasn't met very well. But I dabbled in it a bit, but
I was the one. I was the one telling everyone to. I was the good guy there, and absolutely, we just heard Aaron drop the word of the community.
But you know, none of the kids didn't see any of that stuff. The kids didn't see any of the real degenerate stuff that wasn't done when the kids were around or anything like that. But
Aaron, I want to say this too. This is one thing is, and you, when you first went on Bubba the Love Sponge, when you got fired, and then Bubba had you on, and Bubba said
when
it too.
he first got fired. Maybe I never knew about that to begin with.
I did not either.
Talented broadcast.
But Bubba the Love Sponge always try. I'll tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do, Aaron. You and me, we're taking over for Stern. That's what they're gonna do. That's what they need. Who else has been the afternoon guy for Stern other than me? And who is the new Stern? Who is the cutting edge guy who is super edgy just for being edgy? That's you, Sirius XM. Even though I'm banned from the building and no one will return my calls, they're gonna get back to me, and they have never given you a call, never given a shit. It's gonna be the Aaron and Bubba show, and we're gonna take over for Stern when he retires.
Applause, man. I like your ability to do that. You did a good Dusty Rhodes promo the other day, too. That was pretty fun. Damn, dude, that's pretty good.
It's been a while since I did me a Bubba impression, but that is about how it goes. He did the same thing with Opie, Artie. You and me, we're going to team up. We're going to go back into Sirius, and we're going to get a show, and all of you are banned from the building. You're not getting a show.
No, nobody's getting a show.
Caster, you know, you do know how to talk. You do a show 6 hours sometimes a day, you know, multiple shows. You are talented. I'm not even trying to hate on that. But what sucks is you throw that all out the window. Like, think how big Nick was as soon as you start doing the drugs. And I know that you realize that fast, but you had to see when he revealed the curtain and you're seeing all the drug use and stuff. I mean, you'd have to say, hey, this guy's not going to be very successful.
I keep porno movies behind my curtain.
That's right, 18 plus.
Living this lifestyle, right? I mean, you're smart enough to know that.
I didn't think about, I'll tell you this, and again, genuinely was a friend of mine. I didn't think about it in terms of his streaming. I thought about it in terms of his health.
I was fucking his wife, and me and my wife didn't get along. I was his buddy.
Many times.
If we weren't friends, he wouldn't let me fuck his wife.
Where I talked to Nick about cocaine, and I'd go, dude, it seems like you're doing a lot. And I don't know much about the drugs. So he could do things like tell me, oh, no, well, I've read this and I've looked into this and you don't understand what it actually is this. Like, he had a great way of rationalizing the usage. And unfortunately, I think those things were probably told to my wife as well, because every time.
Oh, is he working it up here? Looks like he's like, all right, time to get emotional about this. I think this is where it is.
It would confront her on the usage. It would end up being a giant fight, and it broke my heart. And I probably didn't handle it well. I probably got very upset with her. And
There's no good way to handle that, Aaron. You know that. There's no good way to handle that. And you know this is.
Yeah. Look at him. He's trying to blink out the tears. Come on now. It can happen. Come on, tears.
He can't do it.
This is what makes me sad too.
But Alex, if I could, real quick, Alex. I mean, this was someone that I wanted to be with
Alex
forever.
Stein does have a boyish face, Luigi Greenberg. He looks like a little boy in his dad's. Yeah.
Yeah, he does have that appearance.
Too. And love her. She's a great girl. And
there it is. All right, let me crack my voice. The fucking blinking wouldn't make the tears come, but I can do the dry crying. Let's back this up a little bit. Can we? Yeah, starting here from. He's trying to get it going here. Come on, tears. Tries to get it going with the blinking. And then the voice cracking. If the tears aren't physically going to come, you can tell that I'm very emotional about this.
And I probably didn't handle it well. I probably got very upset with her. And
There's
the
no
fight
good way to
escalated.
handle that, Aaron. You know that. There's no good way to handle that. And you know, this is what makes me sad too.
But Alex, if I could real quick.
It seemed like he broke there for a second as he's trying to work up his phony crocodile tears took him away from what he was trying to do before. He was like, oh yeah, we're trying to cry here, to seem like the face.
You know that. There's no good way to handle that. And you know, this is what makes me sad too.
But Alex,
okay, I need to back up 10 seconds to get that trying to cry.
My heart, and I probably didn't handle it well. I probably got very upset with her. And
There's
the
no
fight
good way to
escalated.
handle that, Aaron. You know that. There's no good way to handle that. And you know, this is what makes me sad too.
But Alex, if I could real quick, Alex, I mean, this was someone that I wanted to be with forever.
I like April too.
And love her. She's a great girl. And to watch someone, I will say this, if you guys, you know, don't be like me. If you see someone in your life and they're even thinking or talking to you about experimenting with drugs, don't let them step in, do what you can, because you just got to watch it.
Darren Imholt, D-A-R-E and Imholt. Shitty play on words, but there it is.
Change people, and it changed 2 or 3 people that I really liked and really cared about, and I couldn't save them, and I couldn't stop them, and I've been.
Do we actually have to play Project Pat for you? Don't save her. She don't want to be saved.
I couldn't stop him.
I tried to be the after-school special. We're going to have to show him the video of heroin kills so he can sing the song, Who Did This to Me? I Did This to Me. That'll do it. It worked on so many 14-year-olds.
And I couldn't save them. And I couldn't stop them. And I've been talking about this a lot lately, and it's probably just getting to me a little too much. But I just go through times where I'm angry and I want all of them to pay for what they did.
There's the truth.
That's what we see the most of.
That's what we've seen this entire time. And in this whole act, there's the truth. I hate them. I want them to pay.
And then there are times where I get like this, and I genuinely feel a kind of guilt for not doing more.
When it makes Aaron, wait, you're getting emotional. It makes me emotional too, because I remember the stream when April was so happy telling the story about how you proposed to her, how your daughter gave her the ring, and how your daughter proposed to her. It's a very emotional thing. And I know that
that story gave me the douche chills. I watched that clip and I forgot to put it in the queue. I can't find it again, of them telling the story of his children being there and actually doing the, well, you'll be our new mommy.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That Target family cringe.
No, I won't be your mommy. I don't.
No, April thought that's what she wanted. She was
Instant
very
mom.
happy. Yeah, no, she was happy to be America's stepmom. Somebody said that in the chat one day, and she kind of leaned into it. But now, according to Aaron, over the past 6 months or so, no stepmom needed.
It appears, I think she's getting the urges to be a mom, and she's kind of rejecting these kids as her own. That's my speculation of another reason of why she was so easily out the door, that she didn't accept that. Oh, actually, there's one clip I'm surprised we didn't get to. Well, we'll save it till next week. This will be the last one that we do this week.
Okay.
that your kids loved April, and I know that you love April. Why did April change, in your opinion? Do you think it's Nick is a lot to blame? Because I think April is very funny. I think she's hip. You and I spoke privately. You said that she sometimes takes other people's man.
She's too hip to be square.
She kind of did that with you too. She would be, she probably doesn't like to talk shit. Then you start talking shit. She starts talking shit. You know what I mean? I'm just saying she became a broadcaster from emulating you.
Broadcaster. Sometimes I can't save myself from the shitty puns. I don't want to be saved from the shitty puns. Stay away from me, Project Pat.
How much is Nick to blame? Because I think April really is a good person. She seems like she has a good heart. And I know that your family loved her, and I know they had to be struggling with this.
I've really piled on Nick Some people would say maybe he deserves it. Maybe I've just been talking.
He does.
Maybe I've been talking too long about it. I don't know, but I don't want to
play into the narcissist there. He does. Well, actually, he does deserve this. He had 5 kids he was neglecting. So Alex playing into the narcissist and being factual that Nick deserves a lot of shit.
I don't want to put this all on Nick and say that, he, I know people have used the word groomed before. I'm not going to use the word groomed. April's responsible for her own decisions. I think she did idolize Nick in a way. I think she was taken by the following. I think she was taken by the cars and the money and things like
that. Deserves a rim shot, Mr. Nick Rekieta, emotional support Baldo. April better have a good heart with all that blow that she is doing. A bad heart would have given out by now.
Like that, but ultimately she made her own decisions, and I couldn't stop her from making those decisions. I couldn't stop anybody from making those decisions.
You can't stop somebody. Don't beat yourself up. You can't control the things you can't control. But with Nick, he would buy all the drugs. You didn't have a drug dealer, right? I mean, this is all his dealer.
I never spent it.
He never bought the drugs. He paid pussy for the drugs.
Yeah, he was trading out his wife for drugs. And one thing I want to call Aaron out on is this started in October, right? He said it. He started hanging out with the Reketas in October because of the anniversary show. And he said he's only done Molly 6 or 7 times and Coke 3 or 4 times. I call bullshit, dude. They were doing this shit every other weekend, twice a month at least, and more so.
Every time they hung out.
Yeah.
So if they were hanging out once a week. At 3, no, not every time we hung out, just sometimes that we hung out.
Right, exactly. And in the arrest report, I can't find it offhand, but somebody was saying from their church, somebody was saying that the Imholts were basically living there, both Aaron and April. They were there all the time.
Once you get into that swinging new tang, I haven't done that swinging with Coke, but then again, as I said, my fucking other people honestly is a little bit different than the swinging. But adding Coke to that, they being brand new to that, it's logical that they were living there for the first few months.
Yeah, I agree.
Because this is the fun new thing to do. This is our new activity, is to get fucked up and then get fucked.
Yeah, and I think Aaron liked Nick a lot more than Nick liked Aaron too. Like Nick is the kind of guy that Aaron likes to hang out with. Whiskey, cigars, boozing it up, doing a show, talking shit, picking on the minorities.
Yeah, on yesterday's co-host edition with Nick Rekieta, that was something that really took me aback. Was his similar distaste for non-white people that Aaron had.
Yeah, and I was talking to somebody in the Discord, or maybe it was in your chat. We were in chat yesterday, and I said, "Whoa, these guys all live in rural Minnesota. They have never." Nick Rekieta has a black friend, and his name's Drexel. That's who is the owner of the Baldo
that he was showing off. That's how I was introduced to Drexel through Comedy Shaman, was through the Baldo segment.
Yeah, he had been there. He's literally a lifelong friend to Nick as well. Nick was also accused of doing blackface, which he did, and both Drexel and Nick did a little quick clip because Nick was dressing up as his black friend at a college party. That's how that picture came about. So I find that to be extremely weird that he's doing blackface. I find it even weirder that he's doing blackface of his black best friend. That's kind of shitty, no? Dressing up like a minstrel? And then saying, hey, buddy, I look just like you.
Yeah, you can dress up like your buddy without actually dyeing your skin to the
right.
color.
If you would have just put the fro on.
That was looked down upon when Sam Malone, why can't I remember the actor's name, when he did it to his girlfriend, Whoopi Goldberg, in the early 90s. This was not cool in 1998, in which you guys are trying to live.
Exactly. And Ted Danson.
Thank you. Yeah, Ted Danson. For some reason, I can always remember Sam Malone. Ted Danson, I only remember some of the time.
One of the best pitchers for the Red Sox, Sam Malone.
Yeah, I never spent.
That's what I'm saying. I imagine April didn't either. So April probably associated the high that she got with drugs from Nick, because Nick was her dealer, right? I mean, whether he sold it to her or not, I'm just saying that was her connection to it. So when you start to use drugs, you know this, you've used a little bit, you become focused on the drugs instead of your personal life. That's why she wasn't like mailing the guests their gift certificates, or, I'm just saying, you could tell she disconnected from the show. So when did you notice the switch?
I forgot about that. She was not doing the simplest things of putting a gift certificate into the mail of people who had won it from their chat. Like, it took months. It was like an actual radio show where they're holding on to that money to try to gain a little bit of interest from it. April just wasn't mailing it.
Oh, no. Yeah. Apparently, it was in the closet, all buried in the bottom of the closet. Like, you got 3 things to do, you dumb broad. Do them. She really had nothing to do other than be on the show and mail shit out. That was it.
That was the GM duties, and she got her paycheck. She's still getting, well, I guess she's not getting her paycheck each week. She's just getting her truck paid for with that money coming out. And once again, very DSP-like of the personal finances being intermixed with the business finances.
Yeah, don't do it.
When April, because the internet, I remember seeing the clips where the internet was calling April out. I didn't think it was that true. I don't believe anything. You know how we have A-logs that just make fun of everything we do. Half of it's BS. But I'm saying, when did April make the switch? And at what point did you start liking Kayla? Because do you think you liking Nick's wife pushed April away more?
I don't know what happened first. I don't know if Kayla and I started spending more time together because we were fighting with our spouses, or we were fighting with our spouses because we were spending more time together. I've gone back.
One led to the other. They were more fucking. You built a swinger relationship on a rickety foundation, so that only got more rickety as you started fucking on that foundation, each other's wives.
Yeah, exactly. They mixed all. They had a good potent mixture going of all the wrong shit.
I'm back and forth between those two things. I've said both of those things. I'm not sure. Just the whole lifestyle, the whole time is a crazy whirlwind, and again, I can't recommend it for anybody. It scandalizes your marriage. It destroyed a good relationship, and maybe 2 good relationships.
You're gonna get a third wife. I'm not kidding when I say that. Just realize that. Man up. It's gonna suck right now. You'll find another. I got chat rats. I'm saying, you have an audience. You're gonna find some lady in Kundahai County that's gonna want to be with you, Aaron. I will say this,
you're Alex,
thin fella. You're okay looking guy. You'll be okay.
Literally,
buddy,
okay,
but I will
looking. That's That's dead on. Okay, looking.
Say this. I'm kind of in that the phase of that Mitch Hedberg joke. I don't currently have a girlfriend. I just know a girl who would get really mad if she heard me say that.
Oh, already? You got to be kidding! Already? Okay.
Honestly,
take a moment for yourself. That actually bothered the shit out of me with my brother, of him ending one unhealthy relationship and just getting involved immediately.
Plowing into another one, yeah.
Some errand time, you stupid fucking fool.
Yeah, I agree. He can't be alone, I don't think. I think he needs to have somebody there. Atop of having narcissistic tendencies, he definitely is codependent. He put a lot on April, I'm pretty sure. And that's
Not
also
just ropey loads were put on April. So much more was put on April.
Oh yeah, she got all the loads. Workload. She got all the workload.
Fuck yeah.
I got something to screen share, but that's for me and you. I don't think you should play it on your channel. But it's Nick Rekieta reading this book. It's not a book. It's more like a pamphlet. It's called Unbreaded, and it's written by a black guy who is extremely into segregation. Black people should be over there, and white people should be over there. Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, some people who are being racist? No. But yeah, some of it's pretty egregious. And what Nick was doing, he would get drunk on stream, and then start reading some of the quotes from this book, which I don't think you want to share with everybody. But if you want to look it up, Unbreaded on YouTube, it's a whole channel. Shut up. It's a whole channel dedicated to him being Nick. Basically, it's pretty bad.
All right, we'll check that out, and we're going to go ahead and wrap up this show. Zombie Bomb knows about Unbreaded. Thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. So I'm being introduced to Unbreaded right now by Boogie. Hey, this is Boogie. I like to pretend that it's from Boogie. So yeah, that was the episode for this week. What I wanted to get to the one more clip, but I think we've gone long enough. I want you to feel like you've had enough or want more, not be like, fucking enough of this guy. So 2.5 hours, 90 minutes when I got to get out of here. Solo shows, even less than that. But yeah, that does seem more natural as I'm starting to find my way to do closer to 90 minutes than 60 minutes on TikTok around the clock and co-host auditions, which you can see along with these other shows Tuesday through Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern here on the Dylan from Somewhere channel. And Hackride really wants me to change it to Dylan from. I was going to lean into the From Somewhere Productions for the company name, but Dylan from does have a ring to it. So that's why I haven't changed it yet, Hackride, because I was going to go in the other direction. But you got a point there. Dylan from is fun as well. So one of those will be leaned into coming up soon when I do start a business and get some t-shirts up on Teespring and ask for some money from you, which I'm not right now, but I will be soon. Soon I will be just like Aaron. But if you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit a comment. That once this is done, that helps the algorithm and for more people to find this. And call me a shithead in the comment, maybe. That calling me a shithead and saying I suck also helps the algorithm, so I'm not deleting those. those stick around. Those fuck this guy comments. Tuesday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. We have got Third Rail Jesus fucking with some people tomorrow on TikTok around the clock. I am a fan of Third Rail Jesus, formerly Facetious Jesus. He definitely looks like he partakes in the Nick Rekieta lifestyle.
Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite show that you do too, is TikTok around the clock. I appreciate the effort that you're putting into that. It's my favorite thing to watch. I mean, I watch all your shit, but you know what I mean. Like I particularly like looking at the TikTok stuff.
That one I feel like has the potential to launch onto its own thing, and I do put an inordinate amount of effort into that versus the viewers, but I enjoy what I'm presenting to the world. Zombie Bomb over on Twitter, Dylan Somewhere. I do need to be more active with my social medias. It was so many Los Angeles comics really becoming entangled into Twitter, very much like the heroin addicts of where I grew up, of like, oh, I can't be like that, of seeing people absolutely become entangled in Twitter and it just erode who they are to be like, oh, I can't be like that. But I do have to be more active on Twitter. Dylan Somewhere, Dylan from Somewhere. And once again, maybe it'll be Dylan from soon. Heckride does have a point. That is a cool name if I were to lean into that rather than the From Somewhere Productions.
I forgot the R.
Oh, and Spurgsnake over on Spurgsnake's channel, there is music that it gets him some DMCA trouble that he's working around, gets blocked, strikes. So figuring out how to do that, as well as the Family Feud streams. Family Feud streams have been a lot of fun, more fun than I would have expected, to throw out the absolute wrong answer and then try to help you actually win with the right answer. And I think Wheel of Fortune, you were talking about Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy. I think that would have more of the interactive, actually, just maybe Jeopardy. Yeah, giving wrong answers. I see Wheel of Fortune being fun, but as I was saying that, I was like, the wrong answers on Jeopardy could be fun as well.
Yeah, and it's more exercise to guess the wrong phrase on Wheel of Fortune, you know, because you got letters to work with, but so much space to get it in there. Yeah, there'll be a Family Feud stream tonight at Spurgsnake on Twitter, and that's really it. I got, like you said, I got to get active with that. I remembered to retweet this show on my Twitter today. I agree with Hackrite. It's like too many screens to look at sometimes.
And thank you for joining today, being the co-host once again. And I may have Dr. Steve next week. He is on deck, but he is an actual doctor with an actual job. So I appreciate his time once he is able to fit me in. And have fun at Hackamania, Dr. Steve. Thank you, fans, for joining. I called them fans. That kind of felt wrong. That feels like I'm making the leap of calling the viewers fans. It seems a little presumptuous. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in, and tune back in Tuesdays through Thursdays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern for more nonsense from me. Now, feel free to go away.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all. All join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LS, MFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right to your honey with the right and left date. Grand right and left around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girl. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LS, MFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a lucky strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a lucky strike.